and welcome to today's video. I'm here with Katie Morton, and guess what, guys? She is a therapist, and you guys know that I love psychology and behavior discussions and anything that has to do with relationships and self-growth and all this stuff, and she's actually like a wizard at all of that.
Ooh,
so
wizard. I'm
like really excited that she's here today because she's actually a professional, whereas I just kind of like pretend I know what I'm talking about. She actually knows what she's talking about. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Katie Morton, just like Kat said, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I have a mental health channel on YouTube. So all things mental health, there's no question that it's weird or wrong. I talk about it all.
So today we're going to be talking about the 5 reasons why you're single, because I'm single and I was like, Katie, we should talk about being single. She's not, I am, she's a therapist. I basically just wanted a free therapy session, so that's what we're going to talk about today. The first reason is, what was the first reason you said?
Ooh.
Check our notes.
Oh, not ready.
So what would you say, like as a professional, that you see the most common reason people are single?
I think the most common is probably that you're not ready for a relationship. And that can be a lot of different things, but many of my clients who are struggling in general, maybe you have really bad anxiety, you have depression, things aren't really right in your life for you to be able to find someone. And so you're technically just not ready.
I think that a lot of people love the idea of a relationship, but then when it comes to like actually being in one and like feeling all the feelings they start feeling, they're suddenly like, I don't know if I'm ready to actually do this. I'm gonna come up with a reason as to like why this isn't working, and then break up.
Yeah,
and then
like sabotage.
You're single. So yeah, definitely not ready for a relationship. I can see that being pretty common. The second reason that I would say you're single is because you don't love yourself.
Definitely.
That is like, I feel like that's definitely a trend in my friends' lives and in my own life when I've had to like grow and be like,
Totally.
okay, because when you're dating someone that, or like even just kind of the beginning phases of like, am I gonna be in a relationship with this person? It like forces you to look at yourself and you're like, they're liking me and I don't like me, so now I suddenly feel uncomfortable and this is weird. And
yeah, and it can lead to even what we were talking about before, like sabotaging, because sometimes if we think so poorly of ourselves, we're gonna find the wrong person. Because you're gonna look for people who maybe mirror how you feel, and that's not good.
That's a no-no.
Yeah. Or when we're in the relationship, we can, like I've done this, I know when I was younger, I used to do things like put myself down to the person I'm dating, or like, be really self-conscious, and it just makes everything worse.
Would you put yourself down because you want them to affirm you? Is that, because
I wasn't sure of who I was, and I wasn't loving myself.
And you didn't know what they thought because you didn't think well of yourself, so then it kind of, you're just like, like, what do you think? Because I don't know what I think, and then you kind of look to them to build your self-esteem, which is like,
it's not healthy. And it can even mean that you're like becoming someone else that isn't really you.
How would you recommend people like get out of that pattern? Like, how does somebody go about loving themselves when they don't?
I think part of it is, obviously, I'm a big proponent of therapy. I'm in myself.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't have access to therapy, or that's not the path you want to take, there are things you can just do to spend time with yourself. Whether that's like, I always think going on walks without headphones is good, because then your mind goes and you can like process through some of the stuff that you're going through. Journaling, people from my channel are like, you always say that. But I'm
actually an avid journaler. Like, I think I have like 7, or not 7, maybe like 5 or 6 filled out journals from like since I was like 12. Awesome. Journaling's good.
Totally. So yeah, so those are some things, and then just making sure you're spending time with yourself helps you discover what you're about. Also trying new things and challenging yourself. Where are my boundaries? What are things I like and don't like? I think often we get caught in ruts, and like, trying something new, doing something that makes you a little uncomfortable can be a good thing too. The number 3 is being too picky.
Yeah, and I think I am so guilty of this. Like, I would say for the most part, I like my independence, and I, have reasons why I'm single that aren't just this, but definitely can be too picky. Like, I'll be like, oh, well, they made this comment about this show, and I used to say for so long, if someone doesn't watch Game of Thrones, I can't date them.
Oh, fair enough. Well,
but I have found that it's true, and I'm only saying that because anytime I've tried to date someone who doesn't watch it doesn't work out.
Oh.
Because we don't have like the same taste in things, and I realized I have to have things in common. I can't be the total opposites don't attract for me.
Yeah, and there's always gonna be things that like you don't like that are you don't like all the same things. I think that's where it becomes too picky. Like, there's some things that are gonna be important, because there's ways that I like to spend my time that if my husband didn't like to do that, then what would we do together? If I find that they're being too picky, often I'll have them, because I love journaling, I'll have them write down, like the 5, I'll give them 10 to start, and we'll start whittling them down, the most important things to you. And I don't mean, like likes Game of Thrones, like let's start with like shared activities, or loyalty, or even in LA, if you like lives east of the 405.
Is not an actor.
Yeah.
I don't date actors.
Totally. And so certain things that are important to you in a potential mate, you can start jotting those down, and often just the practice of doing that, you'll realize a lot of the things that you've been weighting heavily actually aren't that important to you.
Yeah, like you think one thing's really important, but it's actually this other thing that's really important to you, but you didn't realize that, so you just kind of never really know how to navigate like your attention to the right people.
Yeah, exactly.
The next point is number 4, and that is dating apps. So I personally, this was my point. I came up with this one because I feel like sometimes dating apps make it harder for me to find someone to date.
Yeah.
Because yes, it's fun and cool to be like, oh, you're cute, oh, you're not, oh, you're cute, oh, you're not. But it's, first of all, so shallow, like ridiculously shallow. I'm not normally a shallow person, and I actually remember growing up and I would always have crushes on the guys that like my friends would be like, that dude, really? Like he's not, like he's kind of weird. And I'm like, yeah, but like there's something about him that I find attractive, and there's no room for that on Tinder. Like if someone seems kind of weird on Tinder, you're just like, nope, that's a creeper. Like, I don't know, it's weird. But then if like someone's too attractive, I'm like, oh, they're probably a catfish. Like I just, dating apps just make you really, really, really ridiculously picky. Then when you meet them, it like throws you into this like awkward environment of like, we both have these expectations of like, I'm either gonna like this person right away or I'm not, and I kind of need to know by the end of this date if we're gonna keep seeing each other, and like you have no time to process how you feel. It's
like a bizarre form of speed dating.
Yeah.
Because there's no like, oh, but they have a good sense of humor, oh, she's so funny, or she's so sweet, or he's so, he really likes that same thing I do. There's not as much time for that. Because a lot of times you can be like, nope.
Yeah, and then when you actually meet up with them, I'm a really tough critic because I think I am pretty picky. But one thing I've realized, I had this like epiphany this month, is like, wait, like guys that I've known for years that I've had like attraction to and friendships with that I could possibly date, I don't hold them to the same standards that I hold someone I go on a first date with, because I know them and I trust them, and like I'm like, oh wait, like, if I were to date this friend I've known for years, I would never hold them to this like impossible standard that I'm holding these new people to.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily know why I do that. Maybe it's a trust thing, I don't know. But I found that like that's an issue with me, that like I need to just tell, if I meet someone off of a dating app, I have to tell them like, whether I like you or not, this has to go really slow for it to work, because I need time.
The healthy way, actually.
Like I need time. And
which is fair. I think that's the thing about like apps and everything, is it's supposed to be fast. We're supposed to make decisions quickly. But we all know our best relationships, when you first meet someone, you're like Kat, I'm like, oh, she's very nice, I like her, but we don't know each other like that
super well.
It's gonna take time to like build that relationship. And so I always treat all relationships the same, like friendships, romantic, it doesn't matter. It's gonna take time for you to be like, yeah,
I know how I feel.
Yeah, like I can trust them. I've had chances to trust, like to test that trust, and they've come back great. So yeah, taking your time is important. And the last one is that you want to be single. There's a lot of my life where I just chose not to be in a relationship, not because like, oh, I had all these guys like wanting to date me. I kind of
like, oh, I'm just too tired from all my suitors.
So much dating. No, but I enjoyed, honestly, like right before I actually met my husband was one of the happiest times, because I was spending time with myself, and I'm independent, and I'm still independent, but it was a nice time for me to get to know myself better.
Yeah.
And also just like reinvest in myself, because dating can oftentimes, when we're young especially, can be a lot of energy out and like pleasing them, doing things that they like. And it was important for me, I think, to be able to spend time to be like, what is it that I want to do, and what is it that I really am about, and what are important things that I want in a mate, and taking that time was really important.
There's definitely been situations in my life where I think I want to date someone, and then I start dating them, and I'm like, oh, but they like want me to go to all this stuff, and like they want me to do these things, or like they're always at my house, and my roommate's like, yeah, because that's what you do when you're dating someone. And I'm like, maybe I don't want to be in a relationship, or maybe I want a long distance relationship, or maybe I just like want something that like gives me a lot of space. But then I'm like, but doesn't that even make sense? Like, do I want a relationship? Or
is that dating?
It's just, I know, I'm like, I want someone that I can date, but like not really see a lot, but like just have them there when I want them, and like that's not fair to them. So I'm like, maybe I don't want a relationship right now. And it's like, for a long time I was like, oh, I definitely want a relationship. And then now I'm like, do I want a relationship? I don't know.
Yeah, and I think there's like a variance too. Like, I find that people often jump into, I'm with someone.
Yeah.
Versus being like, I'm dating a couple people.
Yeah.
Casually.
And it like freaks people out when you're like, oh yeah, like we're like other people, right? And they're like, what?
Yeah.
Like we've been on 2 dates. Aren't we Facebook official now? And I'm like,
slow it down. Like, take your time.
Yeah, take your time. Live your life. Be independent. Like that's like my route. And like
totally.
You will meet someone when you want to meet someone, and you're ready.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
When all these things are in line.
Exactly. All right, well, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you kind of understand possibly something that's going on in your life. We're actually about to film a video on her channel where we are going to be discussing red flags. 5 red flags that you're in a not good relationship or a relationship that needs to end. All right, let me know in the comments below if there's anything you think we missed in this video that you see in your friend's life or your own life as to why you're single or why they're single. All right, we'll see you here next time. Bye.
Bye.